For the first time in a really long time, I'm gonna say I'm in a time crunch. I made plans to go hang out with a friend today, and I am just excruciatingly late. I woke up at noon, and that kind of put a damper on the whole day. Not really though. I'm gonna have a good day. And that's something that I wanna talk about. I've been feeling so different recently. Not so different. It's been like a normal level of different. I've been feeling really inspired and really excited and really creative, and that's something that I haven't felt in a while. I've also been partaking in a lot of my hobbies recently, and I don't even know if I could call them my hobbies anymore because I didn't do them for so long and they were so infrequent that like, is it even considered a hobby at that point? I've been doing them more now, so I guess I can feel confident calling them hobbies. Every single morning I wake up being like, I know what I want to paint today, which is weird. It used to take me so long to figure out what I wanted to paint when I sat down to paint, but now I know because I wake up every morning with a vision. It's very That's So Raven. And this one's kind of dumb. I mean, I guess they're all kind of dumb, but I've noticed that my Pinterest looks different. My Pinterest is very colorful right now. I'm really interested in colorful home decor. Over the last couple years, I've had like a really set style in my house. I've had multiple instances where people have seen my living room and been like, this doesn't look like where you live. I didn't imagine you living in a place like this. Every time I was like, what do you even mean by that? But now I think I understand. I moved here 2.5 years ago-ish. And when I first moved here, my style was really different and I was just kind of figuring it out. I'd never had a place where I could fully decorate it however I wanted to. It kind of took on like a really specific style and I just stuck to that. I've recently realized that it's not really my style anymore. I'm not really interested in the whole like dark, gloomy Victorian thing. Not that I don't like my house. I love my house, but I did come to the conclusion that it's just not my style anymore. And then I've changed a lot in the last 2.5 years. Recently, there was a really big life decision that I had to make. It's not something I'm really gonna talk about. That sounds so annoying, but I'm just not ready to talk about it. It's probably gonna be another like 4 or 5 months before I even slightly divulge what I'm talking about right now, but I had to make a big life decision. That's the point. It was a life decision that is gonna change a lot for me and something that I never thought I was gonna have to consider, but I'm considering it. I mean, I've already made my decision. I'm not considering a thing. It's been considered. The consideration stage is done. But yeah, it got me thinking about change. My life is gonna change a lot and my content's probably gonna change a little bit. At first I was really freaked out by that. Most people to some degree are a little bit anxious of change and of things changing, and not even on like a huge level, but little change, like an aesthetic change. And I think that that's because of the internet. Maybe I'm an idiot for even like thinking like that, like, oh, it's the internet's fault. Obviously people have always been afraid of change, but the internet's made it to where like everybody's afraid to even make minute changes. Am I making any sense? I feel like I'm talking really quickly, but I've got so much to say. I just don't know if I'm making any sense. Anyway, change is such a good thing. We're constantly changing and our lives are constantly changing and the whole world collectively is constantly changing. Being afraid of change is natural and it's normal, but also like we need to learn to adapt and to grow and to like evolve. Duh. I'm just like talking myself through something right now and you're not even gonna know what I'm talking myself through for another few months, and it's not a huge deal. Nothing crazy's going on. I'm just not ready to talk about it because I will cry. I'll cry. You just need to give me my time and my space, okay? On a slightly different but still related note, this is gonna sound so pretentious, but I've been less online these last few months. I think it's helped me in so many ways. I don't really think about what anybody else is doing ever, which is really beneficial to me because then I'm thinking about what I'm doing. I constantly felt like I was wasting my time, always, because there were so many hobbies that I wanted to do and I was always picking the easiest of all the hobbies. When I wanted to be painting and I wanted to be sewing and crocheting and like doing something creative, I usually just chose to sit down and like stare at a screen for like 5 hours at a time, which was so not good for me mentally. And it's also helped my inspiration. I used to be online so much that I would constantly see what other people were doing. Like I'd see somebody's amazing painting and be like, I can't make that. If I can't make something like that, then I don't want to make anything. And that's such a stupid way to think, because how are you gonna make anything if you're not making anything? That was a really dumb sentence, but do you know what I mean? I'm never gonna get to a level of being able to create something unique if I don't start anywhere. So it's dumb to think like they're doing that thing and I can't do that thing, so I'm not gonna do it. It makes so much sense in my head. I think I just don't know how to articulate what I'm thinking. I'll start working on like reading next. It's not that I'm not taking inspiration from anywhere, because obviously everybody's taking inspiration from everything all the time. But it's more like when I want to paint something, I'm not looking up oil painting of a fish because I don't want to see other people's oil paintings of a fish. It's just going to make me sad that I can't do something as incredible as what they've done. So instead, I'm just looking up like oil painting and seeing what colors that I like and seeing what textures that I like and seeing if there's anything specific that I like about it, like the dimensions or like the proportions or whatever. And then I can make something myself that's not completely inspired by somebody else's fish. I can make my own fish. And that kind of goes with everything. My outfits. I don't really look up outfit inspiration anymore because it used to just stump me. Looking at somebody else's outfit and then trying to create my own version of it from their outfit is so hard for me. I just kind of mentally look back on what colors that I like and what silhouettes that I like and what textures that I like. And it helps me a lot with coming up with outfits. Focusing more on what I have and not what I need to create an outfit that I've already seen. There's such a fine line between inspiration and imitation. For me, at least. I have a really tough time being inspired by something without trying to imitate it. What did I just do right there? Logging off of Pinterest and not clicking on Instagram as often has helped me a lot. Somebody's always mowing their lawn. Do you ever think about that? Someone somewhere is always mowing their lawn. Usually I just ignore it, but it's kind of hard to ignore when it's like right outside your window. Going back on the topic of the internet's fear of change, because I don't feel like I actually said what I wanted to say there. A lot of people are afraid of seeming like they've changed too quickly or like they're not being themselves. I've talked about aesthetics before and how dumb I feel like aesthetics are, and I mean that. But I've also been one of those people. I love like 80s mid-century modern, for example. I think that the furniture looks so good. I love the lamps. Specifically, I love a mid-century modern lamp. I found so many good ones and passed up on them because I thought that would look really weird in my house. It doesn't really fit the rest of the theme of my house. Okay, loser. So yeah, that's just something I've been thinking about recently. I don't really even know how we got here. I feel like I started out talking about how fun and nice and great I'm feeling, and then we just kind of like slowly took a turn into me ranting about aesthetics for like the 900th time. I do think it was a little bit overdue though. I haven't talked about aesthetics in a while, so I get a free pass and we can move on. And I just won't talk about them again for a while because that was a lot. I had so many thoughts and I didn't even know how to say them. I trimmed my eyebrows this morning and now something really weird's going on with them. And it wasn't even like a crazy trim, so I don't know. I don't know why they're acting like that. Look at how tiny this pencil is. I'm gonna get down to this little like colored part. I have to. Then I'll throw it away. But for right now, it's perfectly fine and usable. Does it scrape me every single time I use it? Yeah. Is it painful? Of course it is. Have I bled? Multiple times. But it works. Bottom mascara, and then I'm done. We can do it, team. We're doing great. Okay. I'm done. I'm ready. It was so simple and it took me so long because I was talking. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you had a good time. I had a good time. Sorry if it was all over the place. There's a lot going through my mind and very little time to say it. I think next week we're gonna be painting if everything goes the way that I want it to. And if not, I don't know, it's in the hands of fate. So come back for that if you're interested in seeing a painting video. And if you're not, come back for it anyway because I want to be friends and I want to hang out with you. And I also want you to like and subscribe and maybe leave a little comment. A nice one. Something real sweet. And also, I want you to leave a nice sweet little comment for him because he deserves it and we love him. I'll see you next week. Bye.